right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Tonight, it's all on the line. We play for the Lombardi Trophy. I'm Brandon Gaudin. To my left is my good friend Charles Davis, and what a thrill to be here for the biggest one of them all, the Super Bowl. And it seems to get bigger every year. The lights get brighter. The cameras more numerous. I don't know. There's just so much that goes into this game. It's an honor to be here, isn't it?
It is an honor, and I can't wait to share this game with you. This is going to be a whole lot of fun. You're my partner, my best friend. I can't imagine being anywhere else but right here with you. And just think about it this way. You mentioned the magnitude. This is no longer just a game for America or even North America. This is worldwide. People watching from just about every country in the world. This is impressive.
The biggest stage, the biggest game, and just about ready to roll. Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10. Now the Georgia Southern man. This is Jerick McKinnon. And he stopped immediately there. Jadeveon Clowney there on the stop.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Well, they had to run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Now McKinnon. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. 8 yards on the run there, and that leaves him with 3rd and just a couple. An early test, 2 plays in. This is 3rd and 2. From the gun, it's Garoppolo. And he finds his tight end, Salek. A loss of 8 on the play, and it brings up 4th.
When you lose that kind of yardage on a pass play, you often expect it to be a sack. But that wasn't the case there. They completed the pass. Probably would have been better off just dropping the football and making an incompletion as opposed to catching it and losing that kind of yardage.
The punt team on now as Pinion sends this one away. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. On the ground, this is Lamar Miller. And he's got it up over the 40 to the 41. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Play action from Miller. Now Watson. And this one complete to Will Fuller. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans. They go play action here on 1st down. He gets it to Thomas. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. A gain of 6 there on first.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Watson going to give this one to Miller. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
Well, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
And not much running room. Down to the 32. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. To throw on second is Watson. Trying to force it to Hopkins, and it's intercepted. Reuben Foster picks it, and he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10.
65.
Now McKinnon to start the drive. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Now Garoppolo throwing on second. Got his target, Pierre Garçon. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down. They'll try and run for it. This is Juszczyk. And the ball is knocked out, and the Texans scoop it. And the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line.
He doesn't get many opportunities to carry it, so he's got to maximize. In this case, after dropping it like that, I think his number's going to go way down. What do you think?
Yeah, and sometimes those fullbacks, let's just be frank, they usually don't have the hands that the running back does.
And it's hard for them because they do so much blocking. A lot of times, their hands actually get beat up in the process, and it's hard for them to hold on to the football.
Following the fumble recovery, Watson. Fuller brings it in over the middle. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A really good pickup of 28 yards. So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 as they're down to the 29-yard line.
Come back. Black gun in our belly. Check four. Richmond. Come back.
Watson now to throw. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Solomon Thomas in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. Boy, he came in off the edge so quickly there.
Look out, because that's exactly what it was being shouted by the offensive lineman to his quarterback, because he had no chance to block him.
So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range.
Tiger.
Off of play action, it's Watson. Flush to his right. Room here to run. And avoids the contact by sliding. A nice job of eluding the pressure there, scrambling for 11. I thought they were going to sack him there like they did on first down. Great coverage, but he found a way to move with his legs.
Yeah, his ability to take off. Not only did he get some yardage back, he got a little bit extra Really helps them on third down. Makes it manageable now.
In need of a conversion on third down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Watson hands to Miller on the draw. And they work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
The Texans with the first opportunity now from the red zone. They have a 1st and 10 at the 13-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there, 2nd down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20. On 2nd down, here's Miller. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down. Good opening quarter for him. Remember, he had the sack earlier. Now a tackle for loss, another tackle for loss.
He's really making it tough on the play caller, though, isn't he? Because it's one thing to try and adjust when a guy is disrupting your running game. But when he's messing up your passing game as well, they may have to devote at least a second guy to him to try and keep him away from their plays.
Third and long, it's Watson. And he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively, but instead it just brings up 4th down. Kaimi Fairbairn now to attempt the Texan field goal. This a 33-yard attempt. The kick by Fairbairn is good. And it's now 3-0 Texans. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
And San Francisco gets set to go here. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Toss play to McKinnon, and he'll get this one up to the 26. Only a yard on the pickup there, so it leaves him needing a conversion here on 3rd and a tough 9. Second quarter now. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis with you. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Heading out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Reuben Foster not dropping into coverage. He comes on the blitz and takes him down for a loss of 9. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Here's Watson. Space to maneuver at the 40. He's got Fuller. And he's going to get this to the 40-yard line. A good pickup there. 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down. Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Devondre Campbell, the linebacker, picks him. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
21.
And the first play of the drive goes to McKinnon. No, bottled up fumble. It's out. It's loose. And the Texans say they have it. They do.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Fuller. That one goes for 24 yards. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. Dumps it complete to Miller. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. With the first touchdown of Super Bowl 53. And the Texans will extend their lead. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover it? And you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. Here's James. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you. Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now. Working from the gun, Garoppolo. And able to find Garcon. His 2nd catch of the Super Bowl, and it's good enough for a 1st down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
The Niners on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be 3rd and 5. And yet again, it's Garoppolo. A dump down to McKinnon. It goes as a gain of 9, and it moves the chains.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
He's going to loft one deep over the middle. And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on, 3rd down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. They'll run it now out of the gun. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line is just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you've got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe you keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass blocking. But you've got to help them get some confidence because you can't abandon the play calling right now.
These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 21.
Come back, come back.
Back to throw, Watson. That's caught by his tight end, Jordan Akins. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A very solid gain of 27. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. A 1st down carry now for Miller. And he's got this one across midfield into 49er territory. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Here's Watson now on 2nd down. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Reuben Foster picks it. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. So cancel the interception, pass interference.
And you know what else gets canceled? The return yardage. Makes the play, but now it's all for naught.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They keep it with Miller on 1st down. trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. And it's Reuben Foster in on the tackle.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
The rush defense stout on first down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. On 2nd down, here's Watson. Caught. It's Ellington. And he gets it down to the 32. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. They haven't made much of this great starting field position they had. Here's 3rd and 6. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We'll come back on Super Bowl Sunday after this. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup.
I definitely like the play call. You don't expect it on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, do you? You expect a pass play. Had a little courage there to call the run, and boy, they were successful.
On first down, it's Watson. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Reuben Foster picks it, and a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
So that's back-to-back drives where they're throwing an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10. The drive starts with a handoff to McKinnon. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down. We've become so accustomed to it, you sort of take it for granted.
You really do, but he is so good that every team in his division every year is trying to make sure they draft people charged with trying to block J.J. Watt. So far, hasn't been too successful.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Garoppolo to throw on 2nd down. The tight end Kittle has it on the left side. And he'll take this one up to about the 6-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And now the Texans are going to stop it as they signal for a timeout. As the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. The Niners on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. From the gun, it's Garoppolo. And incomplete here on 3rd down. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
Here's Bradley Pinion now as he's on to punt for San Francisco. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And a fair catch is called for. He will take it in to give his guys some excellent field position here. And now out comes Houston. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because their confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
10th carry now for Lamar Miller. And he'll take it inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get it down inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. And now a timeout defensively after that first down play. So they're going to make this offense sweat out half number 1. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. From the right hash, it's a 35-yard attempt. Fairbairn able to put this one through. So we've come upon halftime here in Super Bowl 53 as we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. Gold now out to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Third quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Miller. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Come back, come back.
From the 50, it's Watson. And this is incomplete.
That one didn't quite make it to the target, but that's not always a function of the strength of the arm of the quarterback, is it? Sometimes there's just too much pressure there. In any case, the ball doesn't arrive.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. On the counter, it's Miller. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on first down. Caught here by Griffin. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that'll make it 2nd and 12. Here's Watson. Over the middle, complete. It's Fuller. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
Doesn't matter whether it's a zone coverage or a man coverage, the drag route can be effective when it's run well.
The Texans on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2.
Reset.
A shotgun snap for Watson. Letting one go deep for the... That is caught. Hopkins for the Texans touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins, 29 yards. And the Texans will add on to their lead. Fairbairn good with the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Fairbairn now to kick this one away. Here's James. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. Past the 20. 10. Touchdown. 49ers. Richie James, 99 yards. And the 49ers make some inroads here on that deficit. I know a lot of special teams coaches, they just want to keep it away from him because that's what he can do.
And others have egos that their players can't keep up with. And they say, challenge him. Kick it to him. The way he runs as fast as he is, I wouldn't challenge him at all. I'd do everything possible to keep it away.
He is just a blur when he gets a full head of steam, and he got a full head of steam there. So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. That'll be taken in the end zone.
Now that's the kind of return you're looking for. To get to that spot on the field, that allows you to do a lot of things on offense.
The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Lamar Miller. Finding room inside the 40. This drive starting off on the right foot. 18 yards.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Now after the play, it looks like there's a Texan here slow to get up. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20. Watson hands this to Foreman. And again, the run defense stout this time. He maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage, but no more. No gain that time, and it leaves him with 3rd and 11 coming up. Play action from Miller. Now Watson. Over the middle, that's caught by QT. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Watson now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10.
Reset.
Out of the gun, Watson. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
So much of this game is about leverage. We always talk about low man wins in the trenches. Well, it's like that in just about every position. And sometimes, if you lose that leverage and you're losing the battle, just jump up at the line of scrimmage and try and bat the ball away. And that's exactly what happened there.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They go back to the ground now with Miller. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. The Texans on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is 3rd and 14.
Down. Green the line.
Here's Foreman. He will push his way down to about the 14. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
So 3 field goals that he's hit. Now this last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick. Right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
And San Francisco gets set to go here. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable.
21.
But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
6.
On 2nd down, here's Garoppolo. That's to the right side, complete to Kittle. They find some open field here. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. Garoppolo to his tight end, Kittle, for a Niner 1st down.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not even going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Here we go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Evades the tackler, and now some space. And able to get this one all the way up to about the 46-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. Now Garoppolo throwing on 2nd. Gets this one left side to Pettis. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And that'll lead here to a 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Throwing is Garoppolo on third down. He's going to air one out. That's caught inside the 20. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Dante Pettis, 58 yards. And the 49ers are back within a score. Well, this offense only mustered 3 points in the first half on that field goal. They picked up the pace now. 2 third-quarter touchdowns.
Hey, you remember that appearance we had last week in front of that crowd, and they asked about halftime adjustments and all that was going on. And remember what I said. It's not always an adjustment at halftime. Sometimes just remembering the game plan and playing better, tuning it up, and just working through it methodically. They got it done in this case.
Of course, I'll always remember that appearance because I had on a brown belt with black shoes, and you pointed that out in front of the crowd. So thanks for that.
I said that out loud?
You did.
My bad.
And now out comes Houston. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and that'll make it 2nd and short. Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Texans in control of the football and leading this game as well as we start the 4th.
Richmond.
Now a handoff to Miller. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed, as that's going to move the chains. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
They'll run with Foreman. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. Tackle that time by Jarquiski Tart. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Come back. Hey, black 22. Black 22.
To throw on second is Watson. That is incomplete. Adrian Colbert, he was right there in coverage.
There are a good number of coaches that any time they call an in route are really worried about the play because there's so much traffic ordinarily that the ball has to get through to get to the receiver. And on that play, it was batted down.
The Texans on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This will be 3rd and 5. Here's Watson. And he finds his man Griffin. His 2nd catch of the Super Bowl, and it's good enough for a 1st down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Tiger.
Here's a give to Miller, and nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. And in this situation with the lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
sideline. He caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete. So the ball a little late getting there, and it's third down.
I know for us it's fun, and it's not so much fun for the rookie receivers when we see them coming into the league and we're going to training camps. You see them working on getting 2 feet down instead of one. But the best ones train in college trying to get 2 down instead of 1, so the transition's a little bit less. In this case, though, wasn't able to complete it anyway.
And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. Fair catch called for and made at the 16 or maybe the 17-yard line. Well, not good at all. A punt of just 24 yards there. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10. Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10. McKinnon. And some room to maneuver. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Right back to him on 1st down. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make it 3rd and 13. A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. A dump down to McKinnon. A gain of 4 on the play, and it'll be 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
This is taken at about the 14. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the 1st downs. And the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
A gain of 3, 2nd down. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning.
All